I'm on time today. Hello Linda, hello Bridget, hello Mary. It must have popped up on your screens very promptly. Perhaps it does know that 4:30 I should be here, and if I'm not, it messes about. But hello Linda. Hello Andrew. That's my youngest son. I should imagine Nicole and Francesca might be watching too. Hello. Hello Sheila. Hi Bridget, bad Wi-Fi here, so I might cut out. Oh, you can always watch it later, Bridget. You might like to know about quarter square triangles as well, but we'll see. Hello Andrea, hello Mary, and there's Trudy and Carol. Oh, hello Diane, you're all popping up now. And Rosemary and Katie, hello. I know you like your patchwork, Katie, I know you do. And I think you will love this today because it's nice and neat and perfect every time. Hello Sarah, hello Deborah and Kate. Oh, Stella's ready for a nice sit down. She's been busy today. There you see, I think it might be due to the time. If I'm not here on time, it doesn't go out as a notification very promptly. Hello Sue. Hello Eileen, good afternoon to you. Hello darling. Oh, that's my Kate. Yes, Rosemary, all is well with me, thank you very much. I hope all's well with all of you too. Hi Rebecca. Hi Dexter. Or perhaps you're not there today, but you might be. Hi Jan, lovely sunny day. It's been hot. And when you're standing up cutting, it's even hotter. But I've had a few breaks on and off and had a little chat with people as well. So I'm getting there. Not perhaps as much done as I should, but I've always got this early evening. I shan't be watching television too much. Hello Pollyann. Pollyann saying hello to everyone on this glorious afternoon. Yes, and VE Day as well. I mean, to be honest, I haven't even put any bunting out. I said I had got some in the kitchen and I could have dangled that in one of the windows, but I haven't. In actual fact, there's only one house opposite that has got any bunting up. They haven't made it like you have. So well done those who've made their own bunting to decorate your homes. Hello Jill, cool in here now. Yeah, the sun has gone. I can see some nice billowy clouds out there. But it doesn't look grey, it's still bright. But can you hear the birds? I've heard them all day long, apart from a dog that barks along the way. But it is absolutely beautiful. I'm used to, being a farmer's daughter, as I've told you, I'm used to hearing all the birds and living in the country-ish. I mean, we're near to a large-ish town, but nothing major. And we always see and hear birds, so I just take it for granted, really. But it is more prevalent now, and that's what they're saying actually, aren't they? That the birds are singing louder, perhaps because they can hear their own voices. A little bit like us, isn't it? Sometimes. Hello Pamela. Hello Sally. Oh, you found me first time. It has got to be me, because if I'm not here dead on 4:30, I think Facebook decides. I still went green because I tried to swap it the other way around, and I still went green. But I've been talking to a technical lady this morning, and she said it's not me, it's probably a Facebook problem, because some very quite good in IT people are having exactly the same thing happen to them. So it's not me. Well, I'll stick to that. I'll agree with what she's saying. Hello Deborah, you're sitting in your front garden today. How lovely. And what was Bridget up to at 6 o'clock, making last minute bunting for the windows? Oh, you are good. I feel bad now that I've done nothing. Oh dear. Hello Margaret. Hello Donna. I hope you've all got your tissue box PDFs if you requested, but by all means request again if you've forgotten. I didn't do them last night, I'm afraid, but I did do them early this morning because I was up about 5:30. I woke up and I thought, I'm getting up. And I knew I'd got those bits to do because I don't like to keep you waiting. Because who knows, you might be wanting to make them today. You never know. Hello, Sadie. Good afternoon. Oh, Rebecca says that Dexter says hey. Hey, Dexter. Spent 4 hours a day in the hot sun putting together a 10-foot trampoline and was up until 1 a.m. making a... Can't see. Have you been sewing? Oh, a last-minute bow tie and waistcoat and bow tie. That is fab, Rebecca. I am proud of you. Very proud of you. You see, I told you you'd just go on, you know, as soon as you've made your first thing, you would carry on and on. Well done, you. So, when you get a picture of Dexter, if he allows, or perhaps, you know, if he's wearing it, or if you'd rather not, you could always put a picture of it on. We'd love to see it. And Stella, even though you're so busy, you make time for us, Trisha. Oh, oh, it's not a problem. Of course I do. This is my relaxation, and I very much look forward to it. As I say, about 3 o'clock, I think to myself, what am I doing today? I even asked Carol this morning, what am I doing today? But I did remember, so it's going through my head. And as I said, I haven't got any samples made up, but I do know, you know, this is a nice technique for getting perfect quarter square triangles. So I'll have a little mini patchwork session for those who perhaps want to start patchwork and may not know where to start. You know, it's not that technical, but it can be, certain blocks can be quite mathematical, and if maths isn't your thing, then you'd probably think I'll give it a miss, but I'll go through a couple of the little bits and then we'll make an easy way, Katie's done that quickly, of getting perfect. I'll just show you one of them. So here's our quarter square triangles. Look, I'm proud of that myself, and I do it very quickly, but if you do it the way, it's that point in the middle, that's what we look for. And then I thought we'd do half square triangles as well, because normally how I'd start off, we'd talk about squares, which we'll talk minimally about squares, because you can still make beautiful quilts or baby quilts or lap quilts with squares. If you use lovely fabrics and contrast them beautifully, it can look stunning. So it's not just a case of, oh, it's very basic, it's got squares. I love making quilts with squares. Just think of the bags we've done that are made up just of squares rather than anything more fancy, half square triangles, quarter square, but who knows what I might bring you next, because as I say, beautiful colours, a little bit more intricate looking, but you know I make it easy, so nothing that I bring you is going to be excruciatingly difficult, but you'll know how to do it before we start, so we'll get on to that in a moment. Yes, I think we said hello, Sally, who's found us already. Oh, Dexter looked really smart in his waistcoat and tie. Oh, you saw him, Sadie, did you? Oh, how lovely. Hello, Carol. You made it today. Have you been working? Because I know sometimes, or a lot of the time, you're working. Good afternoon, Alison. I am well, thank you, and I hope you are too. Oh, Pollyanne says it's been very hot in her conservatory, is working on a bag and having to do some ironing. I hope you mean ironing the bag, not ironing. No. Actually, I sent, I've got this nice steam iron, like a steam generator, which is upstairs with another ironing board. And I bought it because I thought for, you know, pressing quilts, it works on steam rather than heat. And over the years, and my husband uses it as well, and over the years, oh no, it's probably a couple of years, it's obviously lime scaled up. So I got, what was it called? Oust, I think. A liquid from Amazon, because, you know, that's where you get everything quickly. And put it in the tank. I don't know whether I was supposed to or not, because I couldn't find anything to tell me I couldn't. But boy, it works properly now. And all the lime scale is gone and the steam comes shooting out. So I was really pleased with that. So I sent him up there. Well, he said, well, because when I made it work, I quite fancied ironing. So for a couple of days, I did a couple of shirts, and he was really impressed with me because I don't iron unless it's fabric for patchwork and bag making. But he went up there today and said how impressed he was, so he can take over. Hello, Debbie. Happy bank holiday. Oh, blimey. I always press something wrong. That's it. That's gone. Katie's bought, oh yes, because it's your son's birthday. I did say happy birthday, Katie's son. A new amp for his guitar for his birthday. Just said to him that I'm going to sew him a cover to stop it getting dusty. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Ooh. I don't think, yes, you can attempt you can use the guitar. Oh, his amp. Yeah, oh, I thought you were meaning you were going to make a cover for his guitar, for his amp. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hi, Tracy. Jill loves this group, the chat you have with other members on your Facebook site with other... Yeah, it's getting to be really... I mean, I know I'm the one doing all the talking, but you're putting it into words as well, and I'm just talking about it, and it's really nice. I feel that you all know each other as well, because it's mostly the same people, and then somebody new pops up and they get involved as well. It's really lovely. Thank you all so much. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Jackie. And Janet from sunny Dorset. Janet, it's always sunny in Dorset, isn't it? You nearly always put that. So shall we move down to Dorset? That would be quite nice. Oh, Jan, could you have the tissue box PDF? Of course you can, Jan. I might have to make a note. No, I'll spot it when I go through them. Jeanette, sorry, can't watch today. It's having a Zoom tea party. Oh, it's not a problem, Jeanette. Thank you for dropping in. I know that you'll probably watch it afterwards anyway. Hello, Heather. I hope you're okay. Sally was cutting out a tissue box cover at 5:15 a.m. This is how sewing gets you, doesn't it? You see something. I mean, this is how, in my learning days, in any sorts of crafts as well, you see something and you think, ah, oh, God, that's good. And you just want to do it. And there's other things that come in the way, like food and feeding times and sometimes work. And forget the word that begins with H and ends with K, because that doesn't exist. And anyway, it's really nice when it makes a difference when you do a little bit of that word, which I don't use. But yeah, 5:15 in the morning, that is brilliant. Heather says, hello everyone, was out in the garden having tea and cake today. Yes, there were a lot of that going on, wasn't there? Tea parties in your garden, which I think is really nice. My front garden is full of bushes though, and at the front of my house there's big bushes so that I can hide behind them. So I could sit on the drive, I suppose, but no, I decided to stay in here and have my soup for lunch, so it wasn't very much of an afternoon tea. Had a very nice lady called Sarah who was watching, who gave me the most delicious afternoon tea, which I had last week. So I did that in advance, but it was absolutely delicious. I'm surprised she's here actually, unless she's done all her deliveries. She had got loads on for today. In fact, she was sold out, so she's been a very busy girl. Oh, it's on Facebook, is it, Tracy? Oh, I must have a look. Rebecca, I must have a look. Hello, Leslie. Oh, you remembered today. Jolly good. And hey, Jackie, you've been waiting for this. I know, it's funny how there's a certain point in time when, yeah, if you enjoy doing something, it's really nice. Yes, Katie, thank you. It is a very nice, neat point. Oh, hello, Alison. Now, how many of us know Alison? Felt and Dandy. Alison is the most phenomenal felting lady, needle felting. And she is absolutely fantastic. And more than that, she is such a lovely person. I know she'll be blushing. I think she's got, now, will I get it right? Has she got an Irish accent? She's got a lovely accent as well. But yes, have a look for Alison Cremona, Felt and Dandy. She's on Facebook, I know. And I'll let you into a little secret. She was on Kirsty's Handmade Christmas. I don't think this year, no, I don't think this one just gone, the year before. And she won. But she's lovely. Blush, 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 blush. Afternoon, Di. Sorry you're late, been socialising with the neighbours at our street party. Oh, you're fine. That, I think it's nice to socialise, as long as you kept your distance, 2 metres. I have my once a week socialise for probably 5 minutes. I'm clapping for 4 of them on a Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. Unlike some, no, I won't mention somebody who was out there at 8:30. It did make me laugh, but I think it's all in good fun. But at least she went out there to clap. because I know a lot of people around here who don't. But my daughter lives just over the way, and I can always hear her street clapping before I even start. It's wonderful. And then just round from me, they clap a lot too. Hi, Karen. Oh, you'll find a lot of cave quilts are squares, triangles. It's fabric that makes them look stunning. Absolutely. Yep. Which is why I love my mode of fabrics, because do you know what? It makes life easy, because you know it is going to, whatever you make, it will be beautiful. Forget about saying, well, I've made a mistake and I haven't done this. Nobody notices that, because it's the beautiful fabric, and it's probably the shape or style of what you're making that people look at, and they, you know, you'll get comments that are so complimentary all the time. Oh, Rebecca, the photos on one of your pages. Oh, but I don't know which, I'm so shattered. Ah, I freestyled it. Well done. And even put a couple of little working pockets on it. Can't stand fake pockets. Well, Dexter was so pleased. I'm sure he was. Well done. I think I suggested you could do it, but being the lazy person I am, I didn't. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Anne. Hello, Maxine. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Sue. Hi, Mary. Sitting on the front lawn watching Trisha Time with Dame Vera singing in the background. Now, is it today that we go outside and sing? Because I don't know whether I will. I like to sing, but my voice is not what it used to be. Hello, Karen. Did anyone? I didn't see the flyby. No. You know, when it was Captain Tom's 100th birthday, he actually lives in the next village from where I used to live in my teens with my mum and dad, and where my brother still lives now. They were in Marston Mortain, we lived in Millbrook, and that was where we'd do any little odd shopping bits, and there was a hairdresser's, post office, etc. It's a lot bigger now. And so the fly past that he had, one of the planes, I couldn't tell you which it was, but came over here as well. So you've probably heard of Santa Pod, which is based in Poddington. Well, I live in the next village up, and it actually flew over. My husband heard the noise, and I thought, I rushed out through the conservatory, and there it was flying past. So that was lovely. Not that I'm a plane fanatic, I don't, but it's just nice to see things like that. Oh, you're welcome, Anne. Oh, Bridget saw the red arrows fly past. Oh, I missed it. I saw it on the telly, because I called them the Red Devils. And then I said, no, that's wrong. Yes. Oh, good afternoon, Karen. Sorry you're late. Just had an afternoon tea in the garden with Mum and Dad. Oh, that's lovely. Yes. Oh, Bridget, you felt very emotional today. First time I've cried having no family nearby. Oh, bless you. I'm your family, Bridget. You know I am. And the rest of the people that are here. Yeah. I've thought that once. It wasn't today. Because I think we just crack on, don't we? We just carry on. And then it suddenly sinks in. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cheer up, chicken. I'm here. We could have a Zoom tonight if you like. Hello, Sally. But I saw it on Facebook. Raspberry News. Directly over someone's garden. Oh, right. Oh, and Carol heard it. Why didn't I hear it or see it? Oh, Katie knows Alison. Fab lady. Absolutely right. I knew. I don't say, as you know, I speak the truth, I'm honest, and nobody could, what I said about her, nobody could contradict that, ever, because she is just a fab person. And so I'm glad you've agreed. Felting and sewing, my two passions. Oh, you do needle felting as well. Wow. I tried it once, and to make a little bee, which I've still got, and it's lovely. But it took me about 15 minutes, and I pricked my finger that made them bleed 3 times. So I thought, I don't know. I've been sewing for probably, with a sewing machine, what am I now? 40, 45 years probably with a sewing machine. And I haven't yet, I shouldn't say that, touch wood, but I've put a pin in my fingers, but not a needle of the sewing machine. So we all sing at 9. Oh right, Carol. Put your earplugs in. Yeah, but I don't sing that loud. It's a bit like when I'm in church. I what's the word? Mime. I mime when it gets to the high bits. I'm a bit more of a tenor these days, but yes, 9 o'clock. I'll remember that. Hi Patricia, you're late today cleaning up the barbecue. Going to have one later. Very nice too. Oh, Pam, you would like the PDF? Okay. Hello, Erica. Hello, Rhonda. And what's all this Zooming? Oh, Rhonda, download Zoom. We can have a little get together. Pollyann, we all get a wobble a day or two. We are allowed to. Oh, how nice, Pollyann. There you are, Bridget. Did you get that? I felt that warmth go over to you. Oh, so Sadie says the red arrows weren't meant to be over this way, but they diverted to fly over Sywell Aerodrome with their smoke on. Oh, didn't see them but heard them. Oh, wow. Well, those of you I know that more Northampton, Wellingborough, Northampton way probably would. So, yeah, that's perhaps why I didn't see it. Yeah, never mind. Okay, I'm going to have one more slurp of tea and then I'll put it down. And I'll show you what we're going to make. So I'm going to, first of all, now being lazy, I'd got some 5-inch squares. I'm going to pull the camera down a bit. I'd got some 5-inch squares ready cut. So rather than going into absolute detail, on, I wonder if that's okay. Yeah, there they are, there they are. Whoops, that way, yeah. Rather than cutting different squares, I thought I'll use these just to show you the absolute technique. So there may be a point in time when you decide you want to design your own quilt, and therefore, you know, you can do it on a piece of paper. You can draw some rough squares and then put a diagonal line in to give you triangles. But when they are all joined together, when you're joining squares next to half square triangles, next to quarter square triangles, you'll have to cut your fabric in different ways, as in you can't start with a 5-inch square and then make this with another fabric into quarter square triangles like this, and also half square triangles. You can't expect them to fit next to each other and even fit next to a square either, because as you see, this was made from a 5-inch square, but there's my original 5-inch square, which is probably an inch bigger. So you have to do a little bit of working out. And in fact, today I won't go into detail about it because it might confuse. But there's 3 measurements, I'll just say measurements, that you need to think about. So when you're working with squares, you need to add ½ an inch onto your square for cutting. So let's just basically start. Let's say we want everything to be 4-inch finished. So if you are making just one square, a plain square just like that, you would cut it 4 inches plus half, so a 4.5-inch square. And also the same sort of thing, if you were making into a 4 patch, you would have to add ½ an inch to each of the squares. If you were making a half square triangle, like this dinky one, so with that you would need 2 triangles, and the traditional way would be to cut your square and then cut it diagonally in half, and obviously you'd get 2 of the same from one square and 2 from the other colourway, and then you'd put 1 of each together. And one of the things with that is that you would then be stitching this edge, which would be stretchy, and that is why, unless you're using a die cutting machine where you will cut your triangles out, I think is a little bit better to be able to use the quick techniques, one of which I'm going to show you today. But to get those half square triangles, so this is called a half square triangle because you've got 2 pieces that make up your square, therefore half a square and it's a triangle, half square triangles. Whereas this one is, there's 4, so they are quarter square triangles because you've got 4 parts making up your one square. So just going back to your half square triangles, what you need to start off with before you cut in the traditional way, if this needs to finish up as a 4-inch half square triangle, you need to cut your square 4 7/8. So you have to add 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so you've got your first measurement for squares is add half. Your half square triangles you add 7/8, and then just to be different, to get your quarter square triangles, and I'll show this at another point where I have one of each done to show you they all fit together, you have to add 1 1/4 inches. So this square, to make these quarter square triangles, needs to be 5 1/4 inches cut. And that, once it's all stitched down to make something like this, will give you a 4-inch finished square. So has that baffled all of you? Hello Joy, hello Patricia. So tell me if that's baffling you. I mean, some of you I'm sure will have heard of all of this, but I thought what I'd do, so the normal or the traditional way would be to cut your pieces. You'd cut squares. If you wanted your half square triangles, you'd cut 2 squares, cut them diagonally, and then you'd put one different different triangle with a different triangle. And with your quarter square triangles, you might have 2 squares, which you cut 4 ways to give you 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles, and then you'd slot together alternate ones, stitch it one way, and then for 2, and then stitch it the other way. But I have a much better way of showing you how to do it. So I'll do the quarter square triangle first, and then I'll show you a very quick method, because can you believe I made all of these? You see, you can go up a size, but I was using the 5-inch square. So I used a cream 5-inch square and a patterned 5-inch square, and I made 8 half square triangles, and I had 4 rows of stitching. Really easy way, and you may not have used that before, but I'll put those there. So the first thing we do, I ought to have got a little cutting mat, but I haven't got one, never mind. So I will do, yes, shall we do it with this bit? This one's pretty. So here I have, and there was no need to do that, was there? Let's have no, not that one. Let me find another square. I've cut a few here. That one's a bit creased, but never mind. Okay, so I'm going to line up my squares right sides together, and then I am going to, oh Trisha, you are so disorganised. I have a pen, and I had my nice little, I've got another one here, my ruler. So I'm also going to get my mat so that I've got a nice flat edge to draw on. So having got my, can you see that there? Yeah. Having got my squares lined up, or you can do this beforehand actually, you don't need to line them up, but I'm going to put my ruler on there, and I'm just going to draw, just carefully, that this is just an ordinary pen, so you don't need an erasable one at all, because we're going to cut on that line anyway. So I've just drawn my line diagonally across, and you can pop some pins in there to hold it together, but it does cling quite well, but make sure that's all lined up perfectly. And with your 1/4 inch foot, or move your needle, you're going to stitch either side of the drawn line. So it's a strange thing with this, because normally we stitch on the right hand side, but on this occasion we actually stitch on the left of this line. So I'm just going to, that's not lined up very well, that's perhaps my cutting, there we go, no, let's just line it up a little bit better, because obviously the better the cutting, the the better the patchwork will fit together. Okay, so I'm lining the edge of my foot with that line, and I'm stitching down one side. So you can either cut the thread there, or I've stitched just one stitch off, and then if you just pull the thread just a little bit, swivel it round so that your needle's ready to go into the other side. And then I'm just stitching straight down, and then we'll cut. So we have a 1/4 inch line, or a 1/4 inch away from that drawn line on both sides. So now I would probably do it with a rotary cutter when you're working with a bigger size, but it doesn't matter if you're not exactly on that line, but you don't want to go so close to the stitching that it opens up, that it, yes, it pulls away. So also I would then use an iron. And another little tip, oh dear, that's bad, let's just tip that off. One of those squares is not square, so that should be perfectly, but there we go, I will make it work. So the other thing, when you go to, so you've got your half square triangles, so this is a half square triangle, and you can make lots of things with your half square triangles. So rather than cutting 2 triangles and putting them together, we've stitched it all in one go and we've made 2. So now we talk about pressing to the dark side. So I would go to the iron, and I would first of all set the seam, which means iron on that seam, and to get the seam to go to the dark side, if you always have your dark fabric on the top, when you press it back, I'm going to use my handy little tool. So I'll just, setting the seam just makes that seam flip back and open out so much better. If you ever watch Jenny Doan from Missouri Star Quilt Company, she always, that's where I learned it many years ago, she would always set the seam. So having done that, you then open out and fold that back, and with an iron would be so much better, and I meant to get it out, but I'm just going to press that along there with my handy little tool. Okay, and I'll do the same with the other one. Dark fabric on the top, fold that out. You can get those little rollers as well. Actually, I saw somebody using a wooden one, which I thought that looked really, really good. Doing a bit of foundation paper piecing. So that's another thing I'm going to put on my list to do with you. Foundation paper piecing. That is where you stitch onto paper. And it's really good if you've got a very pointy block, your points are so accurate because you're stitching on paper on a drawn line. Okay, so having got my 2 half square triangles, we're going to put them right sides together again now, but we're going to make sure that they are on opposite. So a cream is on the dark and a dark is on the cream. So if we line these, and because we've pressed to the dark side with both pieces, they will nest. Can you see how that triangle's going that way and that's going that way? So I'm going to line that up at the top and nest those together. I'm going to put a pin because I want it to be nice and accurate for you. And same on the other end, just nest that seam together. I can feel it. If you push your fingers one way and the other, I can feel that's nesting. And then you also want it to be, which I'll put it down here, you want it to be nesting in the middle, because that's what gives us that perfect connection. So having got that nested, what we're going to do now is we're going to draw another line across the other diagonal. So that isn't very, I should have made sure that these squares were cut perfectly, because that should fit absolutely perfectly, but it doesn't. Okay, now let me see if I can do something with that, because it should fit nicely there. Let's pop a pin in there and manipulate this a bit. Okay, so I still want that No, my cutting must have been not very accurate today. I've been doing so much cutting. Right, that's almost better. But I do want that, I can feel now that that is in the centre beautifully. So it's not going to happen there. So what I'm going to do is pop my ruler on here again, and I'm going to draw the other diagonal. So there we are. So that I can see where I'm going. And I am just going to pull that across. I've drawn that diagonal, that's it. I can feel it in the middle. And then pop that down. And again, I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch to each side of the drawn line. So go down there. So that matches up fine. And again, rather than cutting, just lift it up and swivel it round to the other side and stitch down the other side and cut. So I take my pins out now and we'll cut up that line that we drew. And let's just see, oh, it worked. So there we are. We have not one, but we have 2 1/4 square triangles. Okay, so you can see you could join them together. This is nice for borders actually. You could join them together to make almost like diamonds, if you imagine more of those, and they're like hourglass blocks as well, or you could join them so one goes one way, so the dark colour I'm looking at there, one's going sideways and one goes vertically. But a really nice, easy way to do your 1/4 square triangles and to get that perfect point in the middle. So that's what you're looking for. Once it's pressed, that will be even better. Okay, so that's your 1/4 square triangle. So are we okay with that? I discovered that to be a sewer, you have to have a degree in engineering to keep the machine on the right track. I haven't got, and also a degree in maths, so you can cut out and understand angles properly. Yes, you do. You die cut squares and triangles so quick too. Yes, yeah, it is very quick using the die cutting machine, and they are always accurate because they are perfect every time. And I know, Linda, you've been sewing for a little while, so if you have, if you're not a newbie sewer, then you'll be fine, because all you need to do is make sure that you're not stretching that the seam to be that on that angle, because it is on the bias. So as long as you allow the machine to just feed it through, you'll be absolutely fine. But they do save so much time, die cutting machines. Oh, you've never done foundation paper piecing? No, that's a really nice way. Someone I work with is singing to I Get on Facebook for videos. Oh, right. I thought you'd like that, Katie. Yes, and it does work well. So, the absolute, the thing you must do perfectly is make sure you cut your squares. You see how mine weren't perfect, but it's still got the desired effect. What I would do with that, because I bet if I measured it, it would be a little bit offset. So what I would do then, I would actually cut that down, which is what I try not to have to do, because you can always make things bigger and then cut it down, but it all takes time trimming to get it to a perfect size. So the accuracy in your cutting, the accuracy in the stitching will mean that you're able to stitch one block next to another first time without having to trim back again. It's just one more slurp of tea. Right, so the next one, you want to know, I'm sure you'd like to know how to make, what did I do? 8, yes. 8 of these half square triangles. It is really good. It is really good. So I have already actually drawn on the back of one. Oh, here we are. So we use a different fabric this time, and I use that one. We'll use this one. So let's hope this is a bit better. So this time I have drawn, yeah, that looks fine. I have drawn across both diagonals, so one way and the other. And what I'm going to do is I am going to stitch 1/4 of an inch to either side of the drawn line, but both of them. So either pin that together or hold it together, whichever you feel comfortable with. And we'll whiz down here. And then I'll whiz down this other side. I say you can always cut your thread at the end if you want, but it's just another end of thread that you need to trim off at some point. Okay, so I've done both sides of one piece, one line, and again, so it can move just a little bit. I'm just starting to go down one side of the other line, lift it, pull, and just want to make sure that you want it to be exactly at that corner as it comes in. Okay, now what we should do here, and I'm just, we're going to cut this in a slightly different way. Now we are going to cut on those drawn lines. I don't know if you can see those there yet, but we're going to do some other cuts first as well. And I am looking very, I think what I'm going to do, I am just going to grab a cutting mat, which I haven't got. Bear with me a minute. I'm just going to jump over here and get me a rotary cutter. Okay, so I have my mat. This is not ideal. I should have a nice little one, but I have a mat here, and I might put underneath this mat just to give it a nice flat surface. I mean, I know some of you do cut with your, oh, you can see that okay, sitting down. I much prefer, if I can, to cut standing up. But what we're going to do, and this is where I use a ruler as well, I'm going to cut down here. What I might do is actually measure, because this is 5 inches, so I am going to use the lines on the ruler to mark another line which I will cut. In fact, that's what I'll do. I'll mark it and then I will cut with scissors. So it's going to go right through this centre point, but I've got the 2.5 inch, because it's 5 inches, I'm going to have the 2.5 inch line on the edge of my fabric, and then I'm just going to draw a line all the way up there, and then I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So there's my 2.5 inch line, and that's going through the centre. Now if you were rotary cutting this directly, which I would, what I would say to do, you either need to use a rotary mat so that you can swivel it round, because once you've done your first cut, you don't want to move, you don't want the sections to move, because otherwise you won't know where to cut across here. So, or you can lift your mat and turn it round so you're cutting away from you. But because I've drawn that line, doesn't matter about here because there's 2 lines, 2 stitch rows holding that together. So I'm going to first of all cut up one of the lines I just drew, and don't worry about cutting through those that stitching, and then I'm going to cut the other line, and then I'm going to, so this is the order that you would do it, whether you're using scissors or a rotary cutter. The problem being, if you cut here first of all, you can't tell where you need to cut, or you've got to really look at it to see where you need to cut this other line. So having now got squares, I'm just going to cut on the other drawn line. 1, 2, 3. What you'll find where the stitches crossed over, there's a little bit of stitching just there, but that will just easily pull open. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm trying not to lick my fingers to push the fabric open. 8. Isn't that great? I love doing this technique. And the other thing with this is, quite often when you use a quick technique like this, you end up with these, what are the square edges, but they're on the bias, so they're stretchy. But this particular technique, these are on the straight grain. So that is a perfect half square triangle for anybody to use and make whatever you like. And if you have a look at some blocks, you can do all sorts of things. I mean, you can put the two together like that, and you've got flying geese. I've got another method I can tell you to do with flying geese, making 4 at a time with 2 squares of fabric. How about that another day? So, and this one, obviously you'll have a join up the middle when it's sewn together, but there you've got your flying geese. But there's so many things you can do with triangles. You could put 4 together like this. Can I hold 4? Probably not. And that one in there. And you've got a square within a square. Not very, can't hold it up very well. But lots and lots of things you can do with that particular technique. So let's just get that out of the way, see what you think about that. So those and those. See these, I will do something to make these all fit together. So you can see, so that was using 5-inch squares on both occasions there. So you imagine, if you want your half square triangles to be that bit bigger, you just start off with a bigger square or 2 bigger squares. So perhaps try a 12-inch square, and you'd have much bigger triangles. You might have, half square triangles, blocks. You perhaps have a 4-inch one by the time. Let's just see if that, no, gosh, oh, there it is. Just measure what the half square triangle is. Oh, it's just over 2. So if we started off with 5-inch squares, it comes down to just under half the size. So yeah, so 12. So if you started off with a 12-inch square and use this method to make 8 half square triangles, you may get them, what did I say, just under half, 4.5, 5 inches, which is a good sized half square triangle. So that would make it grow. I can hear noise outside. I can hear partying. Oh, that's okay, Josie. We're having a street party. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Oh, Carol. I heard about pocket prayer quilts only yesterday. And I thought, oh, I'll do that. That method would make this much easier. Oh, well, the ones I have seen. Oh, do you make it? Can they be any? I've only had a quick look. I had a look on Pinterest. I put in pocket prayer quilt, and I thought they were a square with a strip either side and a strip on the opposite sides, which is courthouse steps. But I don't know. Oh, Sheila would love to see the flying geese. Yes, sorry. Pocket prayer quilts. Yeah, that is a lovely way of using up all your little scraps of fabric. And I'm building another pile of scraps as well, which are, as I say, they're sort of 2-3 inches wide and whatever. So I'll do another giveaway at some point as well. Hello, Pat. Yes. Bridget says, I ought to be on Britain's Got Talent. I'm like a magician. No, I just, you know me, I love doing things quickly and easily, but still getting a really good finish. So if I can find a quick way, I will. And the more you talk to me, the more I think, oh yeah, we'll do that. Oh yeah, we'll do that. So I've got a nice way of doing Lemoyne star as well. So that's a star with, I think that's 6 points. I think. I could show you that as well. Oh, there's so much. Why does everybody ring me when it's Trisha time? I must answer because they know I'm in the house. Oh, somebody's knocked on the door. Never mind. Bye-bye, Stella. Oh, right. Yes, yes. Oh, and you like that method, Katie? I thought you would because it's perfect, isn't it? Katie's a perfectionist and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You wouldn't have liked my square that didn't quite fit, though, I'm sure. The ones, Carol says, the ones I'm making are only 2 inches square. Oh, right. That is very small. Now, these looked a little bit bigger than that. Wow. Yeah, I'll have to look into that a little bit more because it sounds like a really nice idea. Oh, yes, please, to Lemoyne Star. Okay, Bridget. We will do that at some point. I'll put it on my list. I keep, when I write down or post what I'm going to be making, I like to do a bit of a variety for you because I thought, well, not everybody may like patchwork, so I'll do some and some. And some might like bags, but not patchwork. And some like patchwork, but not bags. A little bit of dressmaking or children's clothes and a little bit of whatever, really. But, so you quite enjoyed that technique, which I'm very pleased about. So, I'm just trying to think what else I was thinking. Oh, I know. Yes, that's what I was going to say. I have put it on Facebook and I have created an event for Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. I'd said originally probably Saturday, but I've just got so much cutting. I need to have a day when I'm just still cutting and packing. I should still be here at 4:30. Can't remember what I'm doing. Sunday I know it's going to be quilt as you go hexagons, but tomorrow I can't remember. So yeah, but so Sunday morning I shall do the sale. So I am going to have lots of project kits which I've got already made up, which are just sitting there. They're not that old. They'll probably go back 4 or 5 months. So they've been on Agenda. They haven't come back from Agenda. It's just I haven't sent them out. And I always make extra to what is needed. And so I thought I'd put those on there at some good prices. I'd have a bit of fabric as well, and of all sorts. And I will have a special deal on PDFs for all of my patterns. So if you go onto any of my pages, the page that's Patterns and Kits, So Totally Trisha Patterns and Kits, has got a few, because it was a little while ago now. I did like a layout where I had got, I think 9. There were 9 pictures in one picture, if you like, and it had got all the pictures of different bags or different projects. So if you have a look at those, and basically anything on the pages where there's samples or anything, I'll have some instructions for any of those. So if there's anything you think you might like, make a little list and see what is going on Sunday morning. So it will continue. So whatever is on, I have as an offer on the Sunday, it will go right through till midnight on the Sunday. So it will give you time to have a look. And I could always do something like this again, but I thought I'll put a limit to it because I've still got things to do. And if it makes me a bit busier, I want to make sure I can, get things out to you. So, Carol, I may not be able to see you live on Sunday morning, but I'll try. It doesn't matter. So I say, you can always watch it later. I shall download it to Facebook on the So Totally Trisha page, so you can watch it and listen to what there is. I mean, some of the fabrics, I don't know how much, there'll be somewhere it's the end of. So once it's gone, it's gone. But thinking Cap needed to do this, but I think you'll be able to do that, Patricia. I haven't got a PDF, but just have a look at this rewind and you'll be able to do it. I can imagine some beautiful things coming out here from Patricia. Mint green fabric. I will see mint green fabric. I have got some mint green from Moda Route 1800. I might have some plain that's Rose and Hubble. We'll see. I'll see what I can find. Eileen says I can make half square triangles just 2 at a time. Love the idea of making 8 at a time. Yes. And as I said, you have still got, you see on your half square triangle, I haven't got one left, but before we did the quarter square, we had that big half square triangle. And they're fine because they've got the edges, but these have got the edges which do not stretch because they're on the straight grain of the fabric. So it is a really good technique. Yeah. Roll on Sunday, says Carol. If you've got a bag of bits, please, any shape, any size, I'd love to buy them to make what I call a rag bag quilt. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it just depends. When I did, I think at Christmas on Hochanda, I did some, what did I call them, scrap bags. Oh, the time it takes to make up a scrap bag. Because I do like it to be just so. And yes, I won't say there is, but yeah, I do like it to be just so and sort of fairly neat. So I don't know whether I'll get time to make a rag bag, scrap bags or not. I'll see what I can do. We want all of it. Sunday's going to be busy. Haha. Yes. Oh, it won't be triple Trisha time. It will be duo Trisha time. But I wouldn't want it to run it in from 11 o'clock till 4:30. I've got to have some lunch, but we'll see how it goes. I might have to, yeah, I'll have to work out how we're going to do it. But I might do a standing up sort of thing, I was thinking, so that I can show you better. We'll see. I'll have to have a little practice. Oh, Andrew's looking forward to Sunday. Maybe get some things that I like but was scared to try because you've made me braver and more adventurous. Brilliant. That's what I like to hear. I know a lot of you have made far more things because you've, dropped into this and you see something different every day. You may not like everything I show you, but, that variety is the spice of life, isn't it? But at least it gives you an idea. And at this point in time, it may not interest you, but further down the line, you might think, do you know what? I fancy doing that thing that Trisha did, I don't know, 3 months ago. And you could always go back and have a look and find out how to do it. Or you could always email me, message me, and I'll tell you anyway. Trudy says her stash is getting so low. Is it? Mine is going down. Do you know how many, with cutting, I have thrown out 5, the cardboard in the middle of the bolts, the cardboard bolts, 5 of those this morning. So you can see how much fabric I get through cutting. Yes. And I might even, I'll tell you what I've got to do. I know you love the beach bag and there were people asking me for it. I might have, I don't know yet. I've got to make sure I've dished them all out for the orders. And I might have some beach cushions back because I did manage to get some extras and I don't think I let Hochanda have them all. Carol loves the Easy 8. Oh, Sally, bless you. Well, I'm not that clever. Anybody's clever once they know how, aren't they? I've been sewing and doing patchwork for a long time, and I have got a good memory because these things just stick in my mind, and I just like you to know how to do them too. Yeah, twice Trisha time. Yeah, that's good, Jill. Your brain's going, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Sheila. I'm glad you liked it. Rhonda, you ordered the beach bag. Oh, right, yes. I know. I don't always notice names, I must admit. However, this time, because what I tend to do when I'm doing them, I tend to do all of one thing at one time. So beach bags and beach cushions were the first because they were fairly straightforward. I didn't have a load of cutting of intricate figures and measurements to do. So I actually did notice, but as I was flicking through, because I go through and they're all mixed up, they could be anything that people have ordered. And they're not, it's not a case of all the orders that are for beach cushions are here, no, I have to go through them all. And the number of names I did notice that have been watched, because I thought, I recognise that name from the Facebook Lives. So thank you all. It's really, really, really kind of you to support me. In a couple of months' time, I should have been going for a whole year. Who would believe it? And I don't feel any time of giving up. I just keep going. I just keep thinking, I do think sometimes, will I run out of ideas? Will I lose my mojo? Will I not want to sew? Will I think, what can I do? But I don't mind, yeah. So hopefully I should be about for a lot longer, but we'll see. I'm not thinking of giving up just yet. And even when I retire, I don't think I shall ever retire, but there we go. Okay, it is that time again. Thank you everybody for joining me. It has been lovely yet again. Join me tomorrow for whatever it might be. I'm so dippy, I really am. But I'll have something here for you at 4:30, and obviously then Sunday at 11, and Sunday at 4:30 with Quilt As You Go hexagons. I promise I'll get myself more organised, have my iron to hand. If I need a rotary cutter, I'll have that with a little mat, and you know, try and be just a little bit more organised. But thank you for watching. Stay safe all of you and take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.